Sumatra and we're going on a coffee tour.
In single origin.
Oh, single origin.
Yes. I don't know what that means, but we like coffee,
That
so
just-
we're going.
Okay, single origin means that all the coffee beans in the ground are all from the same place. Coco, are you coming with us? Coco. This cat is like a puppy.
We just arrived in West Lampung, in a town called Liwa. We're in the mountains. We're gonna check out some coffee.
We didn't do any research or anything. Buell is our tour guide.
We arrived in the Ratu Luwak, or the name is Queen of Luwak Coffee in West Lampung, Liwa. Then I'm gonna show you what is processing coffee in here.
Wow, so this is our first sight of the coffee beans drying out.
Oh, I guess of course the whole.
It's the make coffee machine.
Whoa, they're so big.
Do you have wild ones in the jungle?
Here's another one. They're so friendly, guys. Ow. They have big claws and big teeth, but they're really gentle. They just want to eat bananas and get pets. They're kind of like big cats. These two keep getting in a fight. This one's so curious. I wonder if they have names. How about Louie the Luwak?
Oh.
Chill, bro, chill.
Hey, buddy.
Whoa, this one's older.
Yeah. Wow, he's sick.
Wow. She's so big.
Ini cowok ya?
Iya,
Itu cewek.
ini cewek.
Anaknya nggak kelihatan ya.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We're gonna open the cage and we're gonna see if we can see the baby.
Well, we need to bribe the mom with bananas. Two babies. Can I put it?
Yeah, take that.
Maybe I can pet them now. Hello, little guys. Hello. Hello, little Louie. Hey, Mom. Can I pet? It won't bite me?
This is a Luwak farm here in Liwa, West Lampung. Basically, they make Luwak coffee. So they feed the Luwaks the coffee beans, and the Luwaks eat them and kind of process them in a particular way in their stomach, and then they poo them out. And the famous Luwak coffee is the poo, the coffee bean being processed and pooed inside of the Luwak.
A few moments later.
This whole place smells like coffee. It's really cool. Ratu Luwak.
Ini apa namanya? Jadi kopi ini dari untuk mengangkat Lampung ini jadi namanya Robusta gitu ya Pak ya, bukan Arabica. The original coffee in here, the name is Robusta. Robusta is from Lampung, from West Lampung, you know. They actually have two names, Arabica and Robusta. But Arabica is already many people from outside, from Lampung, from Sumatra, use Arabica.
Yeah, we see that all over the world.
Yeah, Arabica but in here is Robusta, called name Robusta. Bedanya, mahalan yang Robusta coffee atau yang main coffee?
Semua Robusta, tetapi itu Robusta yang diolah. Untuk mencapai jadi kopi bubuk ini bisa mencapai antara 30 sampai 50 hari. Jadi kopi petik merah yang diolah, divakum, terus jemur, vakum, jemur, vakum. Nah, jadi kopi wet.
Oh, gitu.
Namanya wet.
50 days.
For process, yeah.
What is the process? You have to keep it inside of something?
Yeah,
You
like a
put it in
drying,
Yeah.
vacuuming, drying, like you know,
Yeah.
until like this, like to become the like a coffee dust.
This bean is for this one, yang ini.
Yeah.
Also dari Luwak atau tidak?
Tidak, no luar.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
itu bukan dari luar ya Pak ya?
Bukan, asli
Normal coffee.
normal, natural biasa,
Natural.
tapi
Oh.
dia di fermentasi
Fermentasi.
alami.
Okay,
Ah,
okay. Ada orang yang beda, ada proses seperti ini atau di sini saja?
Di lain ada.
memang lagi tren
Yeah.
Semenjak pandemik ini lagi tren di mana-mana memang banyak yang membuat kopi wen.
Oh, okay.
Tetapi tinggal sistem pengolahannya seperti apa untuk mendapatkan cita rasa
yang started trending now in this place ya. It's mostly it's not only this place have the wine coffee. This guy explain us is different places, different processing. One is the best for the tasting for make the wine coffee,
Okay.
you know.
So what do you think of that one? How does it taste?
If you had to taste this and they didn't tell you it was coffee, you probably might not realize.
And how does it smell?
It has an interesting smell. Like I'm trying to figure out what. I feel like there's something that you could relate it to, but I'm just trying to figure out what that is. Kapan diproses, kasih sesuatu di dalam atau?
Tidak ada tambahan,
Yeah.
100% kopi.
Wow. So basically it's saying like just use the coffee beans as a fermentation. You don't add anything. Air? Kasih air di dalam? Tidak.
Tidak.
Wow. So no water. They don't use any water inside.
Depend about the owner.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick the right days.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
If you wanna take earlier or take longer to they find the taste, yeah.
Okay. Kalau masuk proses terlalu lama itu kasih tidak bagus rasa.
Kalau terlalu lama ya kurang bagus.
If the process goes for too long, does the flavor get bad? And he was saying that the flavor does get bad, and Veal was saying that basically like they know the process. The owner knows when it tastes right, and so basically that's when they'll finish the process, and it's usually roughly like 50 days. What they'll do is they'll put the coffee beans into like a plastic bag and vacuum seal it for roughly 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then they will take it out, let it air, and then put it back in for 3 days or 4 days, take it out, let it air, and that for the next almost 2 months.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then roughly 50 days. But it can take longer, it can be shorter. But they also do it in a specific season, and that's for the coffee wine. Like a dark coffee chocolate.
So this is the Luwak poo. Original poop.
Wow. Original.
Straight from the Luwaks.
Begini, luwak
Yeah.
makan kopi petik merah,
Eat the
Yeah.
coffee.
kopi luwak biji tanduk campur kotoran, setelah dicuci, setelah lepas kulit, green bean disangrai, goreng, roasted
Become
bean,
fried, yeah.
powder.
And then make it.
So they'll feed the luwak beans, that's the first part of the process. And then the next day they'll pick up the coffee beans as this. And then they'll clean it and they'll put it in here for storage. When they're done with the storage, they put it in this bag, and this you can buy this bag unroasted. And then
roasted bean.
yeah, these are the roasted beans. So this would be what you could buy, like say if you get luwak at a coffee store before they grind it. This is before the grind. This is the finished product. This is quite fine ground, I think. Lastly, they have a special coffee here,
The wine one
The
that we were
wine
just
coffee.
trying.
which takes another 50 days to ferment.
That Luwak's very happy. One thing I have read online and heard is that if you're like going and trying it around the world, or if you're in Bali and you're buying it there, that it might not necessarily be the real thing. I hear that there's a lot of like knockoffs of the Luwak coffee. So if you are trying Luwak coffee or buying some, just try and make sure that you know where you're getting it from and that it's real and that you're not just paying a lot of extra money for something that isn't necessarily the real deal.
They have on
Their own like growing.
They have on farmer bro.
Oh, okay.
It's like a normal. This is a normal coffee.
There's normal coffee, yeah.
Penjemuran kopi di Ratu Luwak ini.
Not from the
This is
Luwak.
like this.
So he was saying that this tree is 5 years old. I was asking him like how long do they take to produce the coffee beans, and he was saying that I don't know, it could all be lost in translation. So any of you like coffee lovers out there that might know more than what we figured out today, let us know in the comments below. He was saying that it can take up to a year if you do it in the correct process, start getting big enough to produce coffee beans. There's 2 types of coffee. He has this red bean here that you saw earlier, and then he also has original coffee bean, coffee tree that's from this area. So apparently this red bean isn't from here, but this one is. And then we got 2 beans. So we got this wine coffee, which was super interesting. Had a very dark chocolatey smell, scent, and taste to it. We also got Kopi Luwak, which we got the Arabica, the Robusta. So I guess what's really interesting is maybe the beans are like the seeds. The Luwaks, they will eat this, and in the inner casing, So basically, if you see in the inner casing here, you'll have the coffee bean. In most fruits, that would be the seed. But yeah, so the Luwaks will eat this, and then they'll obviously get the nutrients from the skin and the outer casing, and then they'll poo out the whole coffee seeds. So that's how a coffee plant would
grow more.
diversify.
Spread.
We'll just use that.
Spread its seeds. Important question, actually. How do you guys like your coffee? What's your favorite way of having coffee? Do you like cappuccinos, Americanos, espresso, sugar, milk? What do you do to drink your coffee?
Let us also know like what process you do to make a coffee. So do you use an espresso machine? Do you use a French press? Do you use a percolator? Or do you just make instant coffee?
Now we're gonna see the process of them roasting it.
Kopi biasa, non luwak.
Okay. Ini yang premium.
Ya, premium, organik, cap organik.
Wow, so many beans. It smells amazing in here. I wish you guys could smell it because it smells so good in here. They're roasting the beans in that room and it smells amazing.
Okay.
Oh, so this is where they're fermenting.
Khusus, masih kulit nanti di sini.
Ini sudah digoreng?
Belum, masih berkulit.
Ya. Sudah hitam ini ya?
Belum.
Ah?
Nah,
Okay.
Oh, so that's like what? That's the bean,
masih.
and the outside it's still in the shell.
It's still in the shell, yeah. Bisa makan ini?
hah? No.
Tidak.
Don't eat it, Jordy. No.
Okay.
And if you're wondering where we are, Ratu Luwak, Liwa, Lampung, Barat. And this guy he was saying he actually has a YouTube channel as well. So I'm gonna put the name of the YouTube channel right here, and we'll also put a link in the description below.
Selamat pagi kepada para wisatawan-wisatawati dari mancanegara yang sudah mengunjungi Ratu Luwak. Saya senang dan semoga para wisata juga senang menikmati apa yang ada, pemandangan baik melihat luwak maupun produksi di Ratu Luwak. Dan selamat menikmati kopi Ratu Luwak. Semoga mantap dan selalu puas.
Cool, we're just stopping at a little fruit place on the side of the road. Look at all of this fruit, guys. Oh, looks so fresh, smells so nice. Oh, look at all those mangoes and papaya. Cool, we got some oranges and some lychee. How did you feel about the animals being in the cages? Or are you a little sad about them being in the cages?
Yeah, it's a little sad.
It's a little sad that the Luwaks were in the cages, but I also kind of feel like maybe it's pretty good for them to not necessarily be in the wild. There's a lot of like predators and there's a lot of, what's the right word? There's a lot of dangers to them to actually be in the wild because of people. Jordy has a question.
I don't have a question, but I kind of have a solution.
Okay.
What if everybody went to that place and like spent money there, and then we said like we would advertise for them if they could get better cages for the Luwaks,
Oh,
like a nice big
habitat with
habitat for them
trees.
to be able to like run around in, and then they won't get eaten by tigers.
Yeah, or
I
hit
don't
by
know.
cars. In addition to being eaten by tigers, I feel like maybe these days that's not like the main danger to the Luwak. I feel like it's probably being hit by cars or being like killed by people if they're wandering into their property and stuff. Let us know how you feel about the Luwaks, and that's also going to be the end of today's vlog. So if you like this vlog, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps our channel grow, and we appreciate each one of you.